G'day folks, it's the Meeple Monkey here again with another gameplay video for you, and this time we're looking at a brand new game for the channel, which is Unmatched. So this was something that I saw a bunch of the Marvel United Discord folks were chatting about this and trying to convince one of the members there to get into Unmatched, and I just actually happened to have backed this sort of fan-made pack sort of thing by the brothers Murph, a couple of YouTubers who do board game reviews and all sorts of content, and they've made a game called UnMurphed, or made an expansion set for that as part of their Kickstarter. So I backed that Kickstarter and thought it was a bit of fun to back this, but I didn't actually have the game unmatched. I just was thinking it was pretty cool on the art. That I think Nick was the one that did the art for the game. I just really liked the look of it, so I thought I'll back that sort of thing. So I've had this for a few weeks or so. I think it's since it's been delivered, and then I thought, I was in the shops the other day and I saw Unmatched. I think it was like the Volume 2, which is what this set is, and I thought, I'll pick that up so I can actually give these guys a whirl as well. So brothers Murph are Mike Murphy and Nick Murphy. So like I said, I think Nick did the art for the cards, and I think Mike has done. I've got them upside down. Mike, I think he's done the rules for the game. I think he sort of like primarily wrote the rules for this set sort of thing. So essentially this is like a deck, like a playable character sort of thing for your Unmatched games. It's not a sort of whole product by itself. You can't sort of have the Murphs fight against each other because they're actually they act as one team sort of thing. So and I think this is a Game Crafter. I think it's made it's like sort of made with the blessings of Restoration Studios and what is it, Mondo Games, but it's like a fan deck, it says there. So anyway, so that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to actually have a playthrough of Unmatched. We're going to be using Sun Wukong here because being the Meeple Monkey, he's one of my favorites. One of the reasons I named the channel the Meeple Monkey is just because I'm a big fan of monkeys, because I'm born in the year of the monkey, and I always liked monkeys and stuff. So whenever Sun Wukong turns up in anything, I'm always all about that. Loved the monkey show, the Monkey Magic song back in the day, sort of thing. So always enjoy playing that. So and that's one of the other reasons I picked up this Unmatched set, was because he was one of the characters in here. So I thought we could have a battle of the YouTubers. We've got the Meeple Monkey taking on the heavyweights there, the brothers Murph, a much bigger channel. So let's have a look here. So we have so just to explain the game sort of briefly, it's a battler sort of thing. So you have a model, or a couple of models on the board that are sort of maneuvering around, and you're trying to basically fight each other, and it's a card-based combat. And on your turn, you essentially you've got a few actions. You basically have to take two actions, and those actions are generally maneuver, which is where you sort of draw cards and move your fighters around. You can play scheme cards, which are a bit like action or event cards, I guess. And then you can play attack cards, or these cards here, which are called versatile cards as well. And then you discard down to 7 cards, and next player goes, and you go back and forth like that. Just to show you briefly the cards that you're playing. So the cards, you've seen that we have those scheme cards. So cards might be a scheme card. So these are generally just, you play these anytime during your turn, and you get to do some effect. You've got the attack cards. Now these will have an attack strength there that you sort of attack with. And then if you're defending in not in your turn, but in the opponent's turn, you'll use defense cards here to defend. So you'll see this will be a strength 2 attack against a strength 5 attack, so no damage will get through. However, you do also have these versatile cards. So these can be used as either a defense of 2 or an attack of 2. So you could use it in your opponent's turn to block, or you can use it in your turn to attack. Most of the cards will have some sort of ability that triggers either during combat or before combat, or immediately or after combat. And then all the cards have some sort of a boost value down here too, which you can usually use you can spend cards to boost movement generally, but sometimes some effects will let you boost combat effects and things like that as well. So that's the basic system there. So we'll just shuffle the Sun Wukong deck back in there. So Essentially, what you're trying to do is you're trying to knock your opponent down to 0 health. So you'll see you've got these combat dials here. So this is basically a health tracker. So Sun Wukong's got 17 health as a starting point, and it goes all the way down to 0 there, and that'll knock me out. And Nick and Mike, actually, they're a team, so they have this dual dial here. So they've only got 9 health each, but together that sort of, makes them essentially have 18 health, because you have to take both brothers out. You can't just take one of them out, so you have to have both enemy fighters defeated there. And you can see here it says Soup's healthy when they're on 9, and as it goes down you can see still cruising. Was it still cruising or still crushing? Still crushing. Stuffed it, and so on and so on. So that's kind of fun that they've got that there as well. So that's the little health tracker there. All the characters have a sort of a stat sheet here, and on the back of these is where you get that little rule summary there. So Sun Wukong, this tells us that he's a melee fighter, so he can only attack adjacent squares. Tells us the starting health. Tells us his basic move value, so there's no card play to sort of do the movement there. You just have a base movement of 2 if you choose to do a maneuver action. They'll all have some sort of special ability, and then sometimes they'll have some sidekicks as well, or extra heroes or whatever it might be. So here we have the sidekicks are Monkey's clones that he sort of pulls the chest hair out and makes clones of himself. And they are also melee fighters. Now it says here start health. This is a little bit confusing. They essentially, most of these sidekicks, when they're just a counter like these, they just have 1 health, and if they've got more health, they'll usually have sort of like a symbol printed. I'll see if I can get that a bit clearer. There we go. They'll often have a symbol printed on them or something like that. So, so essentially, this just tells you that the start health is they've got 1 health each, and there's 3 of them, sort of thing. So. His ability is, at the start of your turn, you may take a damage, like I've just said. Sorry, I didn't mention that you have to take a damage, but that represents pulling the chest hair out. Take a damage to summon a clone into an empty space adjacent to Sun Wukong. Okay, whoops, what's that say there? Do not start with any on the board. So, yep, there we go. Now, Mike and Nick, now what I haven't mentioned is that there are no official rules yet for Unmatched to be played solo. So there are rules coming. There was I think a states-based Kickstarter that is going to bring, I think it was called Unmatched Tales to a Maze or something like that, and it is going to bring official co-op and solo rules, I believe, to the game. But there are also some solo rules up on BGG. This solo set or solo rules that I'm going to play with today is courtesy of, I think it was A Charlie 1377, if I'm getting that right. I think there are some other variants, but that's the one that I've sort of chosen to run with today. So I'll explain how they work a little bit, but I'll go through how this is going to change up a little bit. So essentially they're melee fighters. They're both melee fighters here. They're both heroes. They have 9 health each, starting health. They both move 2. Both Murphs are heroes. You have if you lose if both are defeated. And then it says whenever you maneuver, which is that movement action, instead of actually moving, you may just simply swap spaces. Draw 1 card as normal. Now, just to make it a little bit more dynamic with the solo mode, because of the way the solo mode works, what I've decided to do, instead of having to sort of make that decision every time they're going to move and they're going to do a maneuver action, which one do they swap, do they not, I've just decided that in play, what will happen is if there's ever an effect that specifies that a particular Murph might need to attack, has it got here, or sometimes it mentions it down here, like if Nick won or whatever it might be, that we just swap them, like we give them an automatic swap sort of thing there. So that's how that works. The other thing too is the way that their turn works. They don't have a hand of cards like I'm about to have. They have they basically just get 2 sort of draws from the top of their deck, and if it's a scheme card, they'll do that. If it's an attack and they're within range to attack, so essentially adjacent, they'll attack. Otherwise, if not, then depending on what card they've drawn, they'll do either a defensive or an aggressive maneuver, and I'll explain that as we go along. So that's just a quick overview of what's happening here. I think I've sort of remembered everything to explain there, and if not, as we go through again, I'll be going through that. Oh, I guess one last thing. The board here, for anyone who's familiar with Unmatched, you'll probably sort of know how these work. Essentially, they have all these little spaces here, these circles that are connected by lines. So you can only move from circle to circle if they're connected by lines. However, in this particular set, they have some of the spaces are, say, at the top of stairs compared to other spaces. So they'll have a little arrow pointing down with a +1 attack action, essentially. So essentially, if you're attacking from the high ground, you get to sort of Obi-Wan them, and you get +1 damage, essentially, to your attacks if you're attacking from high ground. The other thing to mention, too, is that there are these zones. So the spaces that share a color are considered a zone, and that will affect certain gameplay effects. And it comes more into it when you have ranged fighters, because ranged fighters can attack anywhere within a zone sort of thing. But I think it will only sort of matter for certain cards and stuff for this particular battle. And you'll notice that some spaces are multi-zone as well. So, all right, I think we've explained everything. I should also mention that with the Brothers Murph, they've got little standees in their set, in their pack, which are perfectly fine, and they're illustrated by Nick. But just to make them stand out a bit more on the board here today, I thought we'd use Colossus here. We've got blue Colossus and red Colossus, so this can be Mike, since he's blue on the chart there, and we've got red Colossus, that'll be Nick. All right, so I can't remember where I had them, but let's just put them like that. Okay. Generally, the way A Charlie's rules are set up, you place either one of the teams in space 1. I think this one is designated space 1. This is designated space 2. And you just basically put them there. If there's any extra figures, they just get placed sort of adjacent to the original spot. So I've just decided to put Nick there. So, all right. Let's get stuck in, and the Brothers Murph are going to go first, so they're going to get into it, since they are starting on that space 1. So, yeah, if you're not familiar, or just knock the camera there, hopefully that's still got a good angle there. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, if you're not familiar with the Brothers Murph, I mean, you probably are. If you're watching this tiny channel, you've probably seen a bigger channel like theirs, but they're very fun channel. Really sort of wacky sort of guys. Good sense of humor. A lot of gags and stuff like that on their channel, and just really good vibes from their channel sort of thing. And they sort of remind me a bit of the Bondi Hipsters for any Aussies that sort of know them. Board game version. So let's start with the Brothers Murph. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a card from the top of their deck. So we've got a defensive card here. Now what that means, if they draw a defensive card, that's automatically going to be a defensive maneuver. So when they have to do a defensive maneuver, they essentially maneuver to try and get out of range of my attacks. So essentially all they have to do is make sure they're not adjacent to me. So in this case, they don't need to move, so they won't. The other thing to note as well, I should have mentioned, so we're trying to knock each other down to 0 health. However, another major way you can lose is if you run out of your deck. So if I run out of all the cards in my deck and I have to draw a card for any reason, or whatever it might be, I lose 2 health sort of thing. So I believe that's the rule in the game. For the Brothers Murph, they have a separate sort of rule, which is if they ever run out of cards, they're just defeated outright. However, to sort of supplement that, anytime they do a maneuver action, and they spend a card to do a maneuver, that gets placed in their spent pile instead of their discard pile. So they'll be able to get these back and sort of keep churning through them. So that's their first move. That's a defensive maneuver. So they're not going to move. They haven't had to waste that card essentially though. So this is now their second action. So we'll draw that. And we have a versatile card. Now the rules for versatile cards, dang, there we go, dang. So versatile cards, they're going to, if it's the second action of their turn, they always choose to do a defensive maneuver. If this had been the first action of their turn, they would have used this as an offensive maneuver to try and get as close as possible. So that one again, it's defensive maneuver, but it's going to go again into the spent pile, not the discard pile, and that's their turn. So we will, and these, when playing these as maneuvers, they don't get to actually draw a card as a maneuver, and they never actually do draw. If ever they're told to draw from some effect, I actually have to discard a card off the top of my deck. Yeah, that's bad for me, sort of thing. So they've done that. I think we're good to go. Let's have a look. Now, Sun Wukong, what I was supposed to do is start with a hand of 5 cards. Apologies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's have a look. I've got a defensive card here. I have an attack card. Alright, hopefully you guys can see that. We've got a versatile. Alright. And another defensive one. We've got a bit of a mix here, don't we? Okay. And we've got our, that's a big attack there. So, we've got the 5 cards, but we're not really in any position to use any of these at the moment. So what I might do is, I'm going to do a maneuver. So maneuver, what that lets me do is draw a card and move. But before I do, at the start of my turn, what I am going to do is I'm going to pluck a chest hair out, and I'm going to place a clone down. I'm going to put this clone here, and that's going to allow me now with my maneuver to get into range. So I'm going to move 1, 2, and then when you're moving, all of your figures can move up to their movement rate. So in this case, it's 2 for both of them. I wonder if let's move Monkey Magic up to the top of the tower here. There we go. All right, let's get into the action. So we can now launch for our second action for the turn. We could choose to do an attack. We could maneuver again, but I think an attack would be good. So I can do this ox form. That seems like a good one. Just do a big hit. So that one says, essentially it's the power of it is just that it's 7 strength, but it's got this rule that says this card's effects cannot be cancelled. During combat, your opponent, if they play a defensive card, they can boost it. So if they're fishing for a card and they get, say, a defense of 4, they can boost that by drawing the top card of their deck and see if they get to sort of increase that ability. So it looks good. It looks like a big, powerful strength 7 hit, but essentially it's going to be countered a little bit by, at least a little bit by some of the boosting there. So that's an interesting one. We've also got Sly Monkey. Okay, so that's going to let me, after combat, if Sun Wukong actually played the card, I could summon a clone in his place and then move him somewhere else in my zone. But in this case, I'm going to be attacking with my clone, so that's not really that useful at this stage. This one here says Infinite Strikes. During combat, let's hold that one up there. Okay, hopefully this is I think I've got this around about the right distance from the camera there, but for each other friendly fighter adjacent to the opposing fighter, increase the value. So this is one if I get sort of, if I can surround them, that's a good one to use. But at the moment, I think I just want to do a big hit with the Ox form. Let's see if we can get cracking and see if we can crack old Nick's skull here. All right, apologies to Nick. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we'll play that card. So that's our first action. Sorry, our second action, that's our attack. Now, when they defend, the rules that A. Charlie has got is that you draw the top 3 cards one at a time until you get a defense. If you don't draw a defense at all, then the hit goes through unblocked. If you do draw a defense, then obviously you block it with that card. The other thing is if the cards that you're drawing aren't defense cards, they get put in the spent pile instead of the discard pile. But if you do draw a discard, it gets discarded. Sorry, if you do draw a defensive card, it gets discarded. So we've got an attack there, so that gets discarded to the spent pile. So that's 1. Here we go, we've got a defense. All right, so this one does get to block the damage. This one has an after combat effect, so it's not going to trigger just yet. So we know that we've got a strength 7 versus a strength 7 attack versus a defense of 3 there. However, because of this ability, Nick gets to boost this card. And the boost is, we can see there, a 2. So we add that 2 to the 3, so that's a total of 5. Now any boosts that you draw do get discarded, and this one is also going to be discarded as well, so these 2 are discarded. So that's 5v7, so we've got 2 damage through onto Nick. So 1, 2, down to 7 health for Nick. Alright, and that was our turn. That we've played that attack card there. Oops, sorry, almost, that's my defense. I put my hand down in the wrong spot there. Now, I'm wondering, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't think I drew a card, did I? I don't think I drew a card for my maneuver, so I also have this one here. Because I started with 5, and I should have 2, 3, 4, 5 left, because I drew 1 and then spent 1. Alright, let's see. I think we're good. Started their turn. Alright, we have an attack this time because the versatile card is being played by someone who's in adjacency there. So this says any Murph can use this, so we can have Nick trigger it. Chaotic Murphs. Alright. Oh, sorry, you know what I forgot as well? It was Dang. Let's just see. The Dang has an after combat effect, doesn't it? So this says move one of your fighters up to 3 spaces. They may move through opposing fighters. So we could actually move 1, 2, 3, and Mike can now be in contact with me and not just be fighting my clone. So, yikes. Okay, that makes a difference because now we need to see which one of these Murphs is in a better position to attack. So we'll just hold that up again there for you. So Chaotic Murphs. And that says the value of this card is equal to the difference in health between the Murphs instead, and this effect is optional. So essentially it's worth 2, but depending on the state here of the game here, it could be worth more, but in this case 9v7 is also 2, so essentially this is still going to be a strength 2 attack. Now what we'll do is we'll say that the aim of the game is for the Murph to take Sun Wukong down, not his clones. So we're going to say that in this case Mike is actually the one who's going to do the attack. Oh, and I forgot, I'm supposed to declare an a defense. So knowing that Mike, before reading any more of that, knowing that Mike is attacking, I think I would have declared, so at the beginning of each of their draws, I have to declare if I'm going to play a defensive card. I think I would, let's see, I could do this, prevent all combat damage, that's not a bad one. And after combat you may place your fighter in any space. I could do a big defensive thing of 5 there. I could do golden chainmail. During combat, any combat damage you would take is dealt to the opposing fighter instead, but it's got a big high strength of defense of 4, so unless you get hit by a big attack there, that one's not that useful. I think what we'll do, and I could also use the Sly Monkey as well. The Sly Monkey's not a bad one actually, because I can block the combat and then I can sort of jump myself out of there and have another clone in there without having to pluck a hair out for that clone. So let's play that one. So I'll play that. Technically I should have declared this beforehand, but you know, this is just to show you how things are going. So Sly Monkey, I'll play that. So now 2v2 does cancel each other out, so no combat damage is done then. Sun Wukong is the one playing the card, so we summon a clone in his place. And you'll notice, even though I'm at the top of the stairs, because I'm not the one attacking, I didn't get a boost to my combat value there because I'm playing defense. And then I can place Sun Wukong anywhere in my zone. Now I happen to be in the green zone, the blue zone, and the brown zone. So I think what I might do is I might go green zone. I'll place myself here, and then yeah, that'll set me up for the next turn. So that gets discarded though. Okay, and that goes back in. That was an attack, so that goes here. Oops, sorry, yeah, here. And so that was their first action. Now they get to do a second action. So now I have to decide, am I going to defend again? Now in this case, since I only have clones, I don't know if I am going to defend. I might just save the defenses for when I get attacked, although it would be good to keep my clones alive so I can do a bit more damage and stuff. Yeah, let's maybe do it. I'll defend against this again. So now if they don't play an attack here, this is completely wasted, but I'm going to put this bewilderment card, I'm going to play that. So they're going to see what they do. Let's have a look. Oh, it is an attack. Okay, so it says dangarang. All right, so they're playing a strength 4. I'm playing a defense 0. During combat, if both Murphs are adjacent to the opponent, this card's value is 6 instead. So I was going to say that this clone is probably the one they would target since it's at the top of the stairs and they'd want to get rid of that. But to be able to use this ability, I think they'll play it against this clone here. So they're going to play that strength, normally strength 4, but now strength 6. They'll play that. I'll play my bewilderment there. It says during combat prevent all damage. That's handy. Otherwise we would have been taking 6 damage there. Then it says after combat you may place your fighter in any space. Now that's this fighter here. I think I want to keep him where he is. I'm going to leave him there. And there's a reason. Ooh. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yep, I'll leave him there. Yep, I'll leave him there. All right, let's place that down, and let's place that down here. All right, their turn is up. I believe I am going to pluck a chest here. So now I've got all 3 of my clones out. I'm going to put this clone. I'm actually going to put this clone here, and then I'm going to do a maneuver. I'm going to draw a card. I've got myself a sly monkey. Then I'm going to move 1, and then 1, 2. So now I'm going to play infinite strikes against Nick. All right. So this is my second action. This is a strength 2 attack. But it says during combat for each other friendly fighter adjacent to the opponent. So I've got... now who's going to trigger this? Let's say I don't have anyone with the high ground here, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just say this clone over here triggers it. All right. For each other friendly fighter adjacent to the opposing fighter, increase the value of this card by 1. Okay, so that means it's going to be 2 plus another 1 and 1, so that's strength 4. So that's the strength 4 attack coming in, and the Murph. So now this is going to be Nick again defending against this. So Nick has thrown up an attack there, so that gets put in the spent pile. He gets 2 more chances. Here we go. We've got a defense. So this is a defense of 3. Now this is Mike though, so we're going to say they get that ability, so they're just going to swap here. They don't normally get to do this in the game, like mid-turn sort of thing, but I just think this is more fun to give them a boost. Now, oh yikes, okay, so they've blocked, so Mike now takes the hit, so Mike actually, it was strength 4 against a defense of 3 there for Mike. That one gets discarded because it is a successful defense. So Mike takes a hit. He's down to, whoopsie, he's down to 8. And however, though, it says after combat. Deal 2 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to Mike. Oh no. And this says after combat, gain an action. If there's ever a clash with the timing, the defender goes first. So this damage is dealt first, so I lose 2 of my clones. Ouch. And Sun Wukong is also adjacent there. So that's 1, 2. He's down to 13. Oh, not good. And, oh man, Witch of Cali. That was a powerful one. And so I did 1 damage, and I copped essentially 1, 2, 3, 4 damage there, didn't I? Oof. And then I get 1 more action though. Now, unfortunately, I don't have many cards here. I've got Sly Monkey though, so this one could be good. I've got after combat if so basically this is a strength 2 attack. Now I could attack with this clone because I'll get essentially a strength 3 attack on Nick because I am higher up here. Although if I attack with Sun Wukong, then after the combat I can summon a clone in his place and then place myself in the zone, and that might be good because otherwise they're in contact with Sun Wukong straight up. So I think rather than take the advantage of this, it's more about trying to get an extra clone out here, I think. So I'm going to attack with Sly Monkey with my last bonus action here. So again, Mike is going to take the hit this time. He has defended with a defense of 3. Oh, no. You wouldn't believe it. It's another Witch of Cali. So, oh man, ouch. Okay. 2 hits. 1, 2, down to 11 health. Not great, but I do get to, I do get to summon a clone in this spot here and go somewhere in my zone. So I guess this is not a bad spot because it's still in the zone, and neither of the brothers can get to me too easily there, but I'm still close enough that I can jump in if I need to. Oh man, and I don't have much in the way of attacking next turn. I've only left myself with 2 defenses, so I need to start doing a bit more maneuvering, don't I? Okay, well, speaking of Brothers Murph, let's get them an action here. So they are, they're in contact already, so this is essentially an attack. So they're going to attack with oh no, they're a little much. So it's a strength 3. Oh, and you know what? I should have said whether I was declaring it a defense. Because I've only got 2 clones here, I'm not going to say that I did that. They're a little much. After combat, the Murphs may swap spaces. If you won the combat, the Murphs recover 3 health. Oh my goodness, I totally should have blocked this. Oh, okay. The Murphs recover 3 health divided between them. Oh, so they're going to be back to full. Oh no. All right, so they're a little much. The card speaks for itself. So, all right, so again, let's have a look at who they would attack here. I think the Murphs may... Okay, so they're going to be attacking... I think they would attack this one here because Mike gets the uphill advantage, and it opens up the possibility of finding a path to Sun Wukong there. So we'll have them attack there. A strength 3 attack. I did not put any defense into it, so I lose that one. Because I've taken damage, I count as losing the combat. So the Murphs may swap places, so I think we'll say that they get to do that. Why not? A bit of fun there. And then they also get to heal, so my goodness, I think that was their first action, wasn't it? Okay. So they get to heal 3. Well, Mike can heal 1, he's up to 9, and then Nick heals 2, he's back up to 9 as well. Okay, I'm down on 11. Oof. Okay. And they get 1 more action. Let's see what they get. This is an attack again because Mike is in contact here with this clone. It says Righteous Mane. Okay. I believe this is a Nick card. So, after combat, deal 1 damage to an opposing fighter in Nick's zone. So I think Nick is going to swap to do this ability. Although actually this is a better... Sorry, no. This is going to be more advantageous to Nick if he can use the green zone, which I'm in at the moment. So we'll say he doesn't swap. So, again, I don't think I would have said I'll defend against this one. And... so Nick is doing 2 damage that I lose my clone there and deal 1 damage to... I probably should be using my defenses against these clones just to stop me having to spend health to bring them out too. But I get another damage dealt to me by the righteous main there with that hair flick. All right, so and that was an attack. So that's 2 attacks. Wow, that was a powerful turn for the brothers Murph. All right, okay, Meeple Monkey, you got to regroup here. My turn. I think I'll. Gosh, is it worth putting another clone out? I think. Why not? Let's put a clone here. Then let's maneuver. Okay, we're going to draw a card. We've got a Fiery Eyes That See. Look at an opponent's hand and choose a card. Put that card on the bottom of their deck. You may each draw a card. Well, that's not great for me because if they draw a card, I'm essentially moving myself closer to running out of cards. So I don't think I'll use that. So I've drawn. I can move. I don't have anything to attack with though. So what I might do is 1, 2, 1, 2. Put myself at the top of the stairs there, maybe. And I'll maneuver again just to build up my hand. So I've got another scheme there. What does that one say? Sun Wukong recovers health for each clone on the board. Oh, well, there you go. Although if I play another clone out, I'm taking a hit and then gaining a health, so that's a bit of a moot point. Alright, but that's it's not too bad. Not too bad. That's my turn over. So their turn. So they're going to do an attack. So that attack does not happen. So they're going, because they're not in range, so they're going to spend that card rather than discard it. And that's going to allow them to make an aggressive maneuver. So Nick is in range to get to the clone. And then Mike, let's see, his best path is maybe 1, 2, puts in 2 away, 1, 2, 2, 3 away. So he's going to go this way. All right. Now, their second action is going to be defensive. Now, this is an interesting one. So they've moved themselves into a good offensive position there, but because they're not able to make an attack with this one, they're going to defensive maneuver because otherwise they're just leaving themselves open to get hit straight away by me. So they're just going to move. Now, Mike doesn't need to move. Nick does. He's going to move 1 space away. So at least I have to spend a maneuver to be able to attack them. Speaking of which, I still don't have any attack cards, so I'm going to maneuver. I've got one here now. I've got infinite strikes, and I probably should... am I going to do it? Yeah, let's do it in the interests of fun. I'm going to put another clone out. It has to be adjacent, so I don't have any choice there. So now, if I want to get any more clones out and stay where I am, I'm going to need to move at least one of the clones, aren't I? So I've put out a clone. I'm down to 8 health. I don't like my chances of having too many more clones out. I could just sort of play defensively for a little while to get... Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. You can have a maximum of 7 cards in hand. So I've done that. Let's go 1, 2. Am I going to have 1, 2, 2? They're going to be able to come around here and attack though, aren't they? But at least I've got the high ground if I'm up here. So maybe let's do it. So that's my maneuver. And then let's draw another card and hopefully I can keep these clones alive for at least 1 turn. And I've got a Wily Fighting. That's a 3. Oops, I probably should hold that a bit longer. There we go. So Wily Fighting, it's got a 3. After combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to your fighter. Okay, that could be good if we get surrounded here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. All right, let's see. I just hope they don't get an aggressive maneuver to start with, followed by an attack. That'd be not great. Well, here we go. They get their aggressive maneuver straight away. So they are going to use that to move aggressively. That's going to put Nick in combat. And then Mike is going to try and get as close as he can. 1, 2. Now I just have to hope that I don't get an attack here. Now, actually, before they draw their card, I need to say whether I'm defending. I think I will defend this. I can either use my golden chainmail or I can use my tortoise form. I think I'm going to use the golden chainmail. And I'm going to defend... Well, I'm just going to play this and then... do I have to say who I'm defending? I guess so. Now, there is a rule as well. I think if they're ever able to attack multiple targets, the rule that A. Charlie's got is that they will always favour the person who can be taken out straight away. But I like the idea that they're going for Sun Wukong. So technically, I guess that sort of lessens his the value of his clones. I think he's supposed to use them to sort of defend himself a lot. But just for keep this one fast and loose, we'll say that they can attack Sun Wukong. So I'll defend Sun Wukong. All right, if they've got the choice. All right, so let's hope that they don't get an attack. Maybe. Well, no, they do get an attack. Here we go. So what's this one? Regroup. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they're going to be doing... This is not great for my golden chain. I wanted them to hit me with something really big. So they're doing one attack. And mine says, during combat, any combat damage you would take is dealt to the opposing fighter. I should have really saved this for if they were had a big difference in their health and they were going to get one of those chaotic cards or whatever it was. So no damage is dealt. But then it says, after combat, draw a card. If you won combat, draw 2 cards instead. Well, they didn't win because they didn't do any damage. That was an attack, so that goes to the discard pile. This goes to the discard pile, but because it says they draw a card, they don't draw a card, but they make me discard a card. So there we go. Alright, well that's not too painful. I stayed alive there. So now at the start of my turn, I can drop a health. I'm going to put that clone down. Now I'm going to play Phoenix form, which is the each of my for each of my clones I can recover a health. So I'm going to recover 3 health, back to 10. All right, doesn't seem great. Okay, so that's one action. And then my next action, I may as well do some fighting, right? Let's attack with Infinite Strikes again. Yeah, let's do Infinite Strikes. And for each other friendly fighter adjacent to the opposing fighter, increase the value of this card by 1. So I'm going to essentially be attacking with Strength 4 here. So Strength 4 against Nick. And we'll say it's with Sun Wukong. Alright. Chaotic Mo, so he does block that with a defense of 2. So he's taken 2 hits. The value of this... Oh, the value of this card is... Oh, well, you can even use this in defense, but luckily the difference is nothing here because they're both on 9, so he just takes 2 hits. Back to 7. Back to the drawing board. Alright, so... That one gets discarded. This one gets discarded. And we're ready to rock and roll. That was my second action, wasn't it? Because I played my Phoenix card first. Okay, so let's see what they do. Now, before they attack here, I think I am going to defend. Let's do a big tortoise form attack. Tortoise form defense. So we will block here. So we're going to block the attack with Sun Wukong. They are going to do an attack with Strength 2. What else does it have though? They get to boost this because this tortoise form is a bit like my ox form. They do get a free boost here. During combat, you and your opponent discard the top. So this is during combat and this is during combat. So this happens first because they're... Wait, no, I'm defending. So this happens first. Your opponent may boost their attack. So actually... They boost their attack. So they're attacking. They get to boost the attack first. So that's now a strength of 2 plus 2. That's a 2 there if you see the boost value. So 2 versus, 4 versus 5. So they're attacked with a strength of 4 against 5. So I don't take any damage there, but then you and your opponent discard, oh no, the top card of your decks. Add the boost value of both cards to this card. Oh no, so they get to... Oh, what a time to play this when they get this huge attack. Oh, okay. So, oh man, I'm getting thrown around the arena here, aren't I? So they've already boosted for 2. Then they get this extra boost, which is I have to discard the top card. So this even hurts me with the discard. That's 2, so they've now got a total of 6, so they're doing 1 damage to me. And that's another one of my tortoise forms, so I've lost that card. And they get another 2, so that's 3 damage in total that they've done. Wow. My goodness. Well, there goes that 3 health that I just healed. Okay. Right. Holy moly. Okay, and now they get, I think that was their first attack, wasn't it? That was their first action. So second action, again, I guess I'm just going to have to defend with wily fighting. And we've got this one here, which says, got each other's back, which is a scheme card. So this goes to waste now because they're not actually attacking. Deal any amount of damage to a Murph. The other Murph recovers health equal to the amount of damage dealt. So I think what that lets them do, if I'm not mistaken, is Mike can take a damage down to 8. Essentially lets them equalise. So he down to 8, and Nick goes up to 8 as well. Got each other's backs. Okay, spreading that damage out. Well, so much for my big hand that I've built up. That I did nothing with it. Okay. Really, I think what I should be... I think I'm doing myself a disservice and doing how Sun Wukong is supposed to be working here with the clones by letting the Murphs attack Sun Wukong when the clones are a viable target. But it's all good. All good. So, my turn. At least my clones are still alive. I don't have to damage myself to keep them alive. Let's maneuver, because otherwise we can't do much with our turn. We've got wily fighting. Deal damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to your fighter. So if I'm maneuvering, what I could do is I could move this guy 1, 2 here. Is that going to help? No, it's not going to help. Oh, I wonder... I'm just trying to think if I'd launched an attack that got through before... I should have had 1 more strength for doing the attack from up the top there. Which means that Nick would have been down, I think it was Nick, would have been down on, would have been down at 6 probably, but then Mike could have healed, taken 1 damage at least, so he could have at least healed Nick to 7. Alright, there we go. You know what, and in fact, Mike would probably want to take 2 hits to heal Nick back up to 8, because Nick is the one taking the hits here at the front. So that's probably what they'd choose to do. Alright. I'm going to launch an attack. I'm going to do wily fighting. And let's attack with this clone here at the top, getting +1. So this is now a strength 4 attack. They're going to block. They are going to block with that first block there. That's a defense of 3. And it says, the artist within, after combat, if Nick won the combat, draw a card. And this is Nick in combat here. Nick is not going to win this combat because Nick is defended with 3. I've attacked with 3, but +1 for being on the high ground, so I'm doing 1 damage. So Nick goes down to 7. And he doesn't get to draw a card, which would have actually made me discard a card. Okay, so that discards there. I've played that card. I think I drew that card. I think I maneuvered to draw the card, and then I attacked. So now I don't have any. I'm going into this now with no defense. Yikes. He's hoping that they get a defensive maneuver and they decide to back away. Nope, they're attacking. So let's see. That is regroup. So they're going to do a strength 1 attack. They're going to attack Sun Wukong here for 6. Then after combat, and if you won combat, you draw 2 cards. So I'm actually taking 2 discards here. That's not good. Oh no, I lost a big ox form attack there too. That's a bummer. Okay, well, that's an attack there. And now their second maneuver. Oh, it's another attack. Uh-oh. This is Let Heart. So strength 3. Any Murph can do this. During combat, if Mike is the attacker, you may boost this attack. Now, we did say that we'd let them swap over, so Mike gets to do that. And Mike gets to boost the attack. It doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, sorry, it does matter because I'm not defending with anything. So this actually goes towards the amount of damage he's doing. So that's 3 plus 1 is 4 damage. Oof. Not great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, down to 2 health. Oh, no. Get out of there, Sun Wukong. Okay, maneuvering. Let's talk about getting out of there. Defensive card, and I can move those. So I can move past friendly fighters. I should have been doing this before. 1, and he's going to move there. Yeah, let's do that. I should have done that ages ago. So how not to play Unmatched is this playthrough, but hopefully it gives you an idea of how the system works at least, despite the subpar gameplay. Or subpar tactics, I should say, or strategies. So that's my first maneuver. Let's do another maneuver as well. Oh, sorry, I'm drawing from the top of my discard pile there. Let's do another maneuver. Another Fiery Eyes. Oof. Nope, don't want to do that. Alright, their turn. They are going to start working their way through these clones, I guess. So I think what I will do is I'll play this defensive card on the clones. So they're going to do unfortunately that hasn't paid off because they're not actually attacking now. What are they doing? Something called Which is Which. The Murphs swap places, or may swap places, and then draw a card and gain an action. Oh, okay, that's not good. So they can swap places. Then I have to discard a card because they get to draw a card, and then they basically get a free turn. So I think this is now I think that was their first action for this round, wasn't it? So this is essentially now their new first action. Oh, are they doing this again? Is that the same thing? Which is which? Murph swap places. Yep, draw a card. No, oh, man, just trolling me hard here. All right, so there's another one. Draw a card. Yep. Oh, man. Ooh, that's a cool looking card. Rui Jingo Bang. After combat, if your opponent played a defense card, tricked you. Oh, that would have been a cool card to play. Alright. Swap play. Oh, yeah, and they swap places, so they go back to. Okay, so they're just sort of linking arms and doing a do-si-do around the place. Alright, now I've forgotten who was. I think he was there, wasn't he? I don't know. I can't remember. All right, doesn't really matter. They're both on 7 health, so all good. That was their second action. Oh no, hold on. This is now their first action again because that's a free action. Oh no. All right, Team Bing Bong. They're finally doing an attack, and I have no defense against this. So they will. I think they'll attack this guy because he gives +1 to me for my attack, and also clears a path for them to get to me. So during combat, you and your opponent discard the top card of your deck, add the boost value. Okay, so that they play that, they discard a card, I discard a card. Either way, we know this clone is getting defeated. Okay, that was their first action. Their second action is another attack. Again, I think they're going to attack this clone that's getting +1 damage here. After combat, Nick deals 1 damage to an opposing fighter in Nick's zone, and unfortunately, oof, I am in Nick's purple zone here. So he can deal it to me, and this clone gets taken out. That's painful. Holy moly, I thought I was safe here. And that gets discarded. Alright, so that's their discard pile. So, okay, my only hope now is to outlast them. This is their spent pile. So I have to get them to play these out and avoid taking 1 damage. And I can't now afford to put any more clones out, because if I pluck that hair, I'm taking myself out. So they're going to discard these, not discard, they're going to shuffle these cards. Can I hang on? I don't know. I don't know. Alright. Let's do it. Okay. So my turn, I have to maneuver to get out of here. So I've got 3... I've got an attack. Ugh. Taunting laughter. Let's have a look at it at least so you can see what it is. It's strength 3. Immediately your opponent may discard 1 card from their hand. If they don't, ignore their card's value. Oh, interesting. So my okay. So if I use this now, I could force them to discard a card, getting them 1 closer to getting out of here. And if they don't, ignore their card's value, which wouldn't would not take effect, sort of thing, because they'd be discarding a card. I wonder if that's worth playing, or if I'm better off just running, because I could do like a boosted movement. I could run 1, 2, 1, 2 here, and then I could run 1 with the boost. Well, you know what? I can still do this because I've maneuvered. So let's do this. I'm going to actually play this as a boost. So I'm going to run 1, 2, 3 away over here, and my clone for the second action is actually going to attack. So let's play that. That discards a card from them. Then they get to, because I've made them do that, they still get to actually play a defense against my attack of 3 here. Oh, and what I could have done is I could have maneuvered this clone to be on top, although to get +1 strength, but I think I'd rather stay here to stop them from being able to get through here, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so yeah, this is just strength 3, so they get 3 chances to block it. That one does not block, so that goes into the spent pile. This one also does not block, goes into the spent pile. This one is a defense, it does block, so I had a strength of 3, they've got a strength of 3. After the combat, move one of your move one of your fighters up to 3 spaces. Oh, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. No, it says they may move through opposing fighters. Normally you can't move through opposing fighters, but oh man, they're a lot closer now. So at least my clone didn't die, I guess, but the whole point of the clone was to block them from getting through. What was that card called? Dang. Oh, dang, sure enough, right? Holy moly. Alright, so their turn. Well, let's see. They're going to get, a defensive maneuver. Alright, so they're not actually moving because neither of them are in close contact. So that's going to go into their spent pile, not their discard. So, but they don't get any closer, and then they're going to attack. Now, this attack doesn't happen, but because it's not a versatile card, they do have to do this. So they're going to use this as a offensive maneuver. So Nick is going to move towards Sun Wukong there, and then Mike is going to move towards my clone. But now it's my turn, so I'm going to draw a card to maneuver and try and get the heck out of dodge. I've got a defensive card, which is not bad, so I'm going to try and get as far away as possible. So 1, 2, that's 2. I may as well use this, right, to boost the movement. 3. And then this... Because he can just start moving away. I wonder if this clone wants to... If he stays where he is, I think what I might do is go 1, 2, and just perhaps create something that can give him a target to attack instead of moving away. I don't know if that's how it works, but that's my plan. So that was that my first action? I drew that card, drew this card, and maneuvered, boosted that. So I'm going to draw another one for maneuvering. I've got a wily fighting. Hopefully that might help later on. At least it's some defense. And I'm going to move, so now in this case, let's maybe go here. And then maybe keep this clone far away as well. 1, 2. You know, we want them attacking so that they spend an attack rather than aggressively maneuver. I think that's what we want to do. Keep him in contact. Okay, so all right, it's all about this deck here. Can we last? Can we outlast them? Okay, so Murphs are going to go. If this is an attack, they'll attack here. If it is a versatile, they'll attack. Otherwise, and I'm not going, or am I? Maybe I will defend. Because if I can keep him alive, oh, yeah, let's do, I'm going to do this one here. This is I'm going to defend against this just to keep him alive, hopefully, so I can keep causing them to attack rather than move towards me. So, yeah, defending. Let's see if they do attack. They do attack, so I've got a defensive 3. He has a defensive 3. He's downhill, so he's not getting an advantage. The Beast Within, oh, that doesn't sound good. After combat. Okay, so 3 versus 3, that means no damage is dealt. Now, they've both got after combat effects, so wily fighting takes place first because this is a defensive ability. So after combat, deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter adjacent to my fighter. So that's just going to affect Nick, knock him down to 6. So he's, okay, that hurt. That's good. I'm glad we got something through. But then he gets to do, if Nick won this combat, which he didn't. Okay, so that gets discarded because it was an actual attack. That gets discarded because it was an actual defense. And now they're going to shuffle this. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 4 cards. They're going to shuffle this. Aha. All right. I feel like really I should have lost this this game. If I can pull this victory out. I don't know if I can. I'm sitting on 1, but I feel like the Murphs can feel aggrieved if they lose this. So that was their first action for the turn. This is their second action. Now I could defend this one as well. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm defending. Golden Chainmail. They're doing 2. Oh, it's a... so that's... Unfortunately, that sort of wastes that defense there. But this is going to be a defensive maneuver. So this actually goes back into their spent pile. And they're going to move... He doesn't need to move, but he's going to move 1 away. And I think, ideally, he wants to move towards me. So he's going to actually use this to his advantage. He's moving defensively, but he's still working towards me. All right, make me work for it. Right. So, what am I doing? My turn. All right. So I have to... Well, let's draw 1 card for the maneuver. I've got Taunting Laughter. I could do an attack. So I could do an attack here. Let's see. Again, I can move... Oh. 1, 2... You know what, if I move there, if I move, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm just thinking 1, 2, 3, 4 though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, that's good. Alright, we'll move there. That probably puts me as far away as I can get. Then I can move this guy 1, 2, I think. And then maybe I can do an attack next turn or something. No, let's move. I was going to say, let's move him into contact because I can make them discard a card here. So I'll launch the attack. Yeah, then that makes them discard a card. So that goes here. Then he's going to defend against this though. So my attack was a strength of 3 and I am uphill actually, so that's strength of 4. He's missed with the first one, but that just gets spent. He misses with the second one, but that now is spent, so they haven't been discarded yet. Okay. And one of these is a defense, so he can block with one of these. Okay. Oh, no, he doesn't block it. So that gets put into the spent pile though. So I did 3 damage, plus 1 is 4, so I actually did 4 damage. Wow. All right. Finally got something through, down to 6. Sorry, down to 2. And then immediately, oh no, we did that, yeah, okay, wow, okay, so, wow, I actually landed a solid hit there. Now, their turn. Alright, here we go. I've got nothing, no cards to play with, so, oh, hold on. I did my maneuver, oh yeah, and I did my attack, yeah, so that's, yeah, because the maneuver I moved Monkey, Sun Wukong away, and I moved my clone in, and then I attacked with the actual card that I drew from the maneuver. So yeah, my actions are spent. They are doing an attack, so that means that we get the Dab of Destiny. All right, so this clone's about to take a big hit here. After combat, if you won the combat, gain it. Oh, so this is like a free action. So they did that attack, slams my clone there. Well, I'm running out of cards here too, but I think we've got him. I think they've only got a couple of cards left here, so they get so that essentially was a free turn. This is their first action of the turn. Then it is a defensive maneuver, so they will not move. That gets into the spent pile, which means they're shuffling, and I think we've got him because now they've only got the 2 cards. I've got quite a few more than that, so I think we've got them on the ropes here. So they're going to play their last action for the turn. It is a defensive one again, so they're not maneuvering. Then I can just wait them out, essentially, I think. Or can I? How is this going to work? How do I... Because if they don't actually launch their attack... and I can't put any clones out. I might actually be running out of things here. I might have to sort of try and get lucky with an attack here, cause them to spend their things. I might have to sort of build up some defenses and attacks and try not to take any damage. So let's draw a card, and that is a 72 transformations. Take an ox form and tortoise form or phoenix form from your discard pile and return it to your hand. That might be worth playing now, actually. Get myself a phoenix out. Yeah, let's get that phoenix out. Have I got enough time to do this? Hopefully. Let's get the phoenix out. Phoenix. Where are you, Phoenix? Here we go. So, playing this card, so my maneuver was to draw that card. I'm going to stay where I am. Or am I? I might actually move a little bit closer. Let's go this way. Then let's go. Second action is to play the transformations to draw this card. So to get this card back into my hand. Okay, yep, that's my turn done. Murphs are going to aggressively move. 1, 2. What's the closest way? Probably this way. 1, 2. Then they are going to shuffle and see what they do. Okay. They are going to... Oh, they're going to aggressively move. So he moves into contact. That's not what I wanted. One... You might try and get around me here. Then my turn. I'm going to... Oh no, I drew this... What have I done? I've put myself in grave danger here. I don't have any clones out on the board and I can't get them out to heal myself. So what I probably should have done, let's that's so silly. I should have got myself a the tortoise form. Tortoise form, where are you? Here we go. Get myself a tortoise form out there. Alright. And instead of this phoenix form. But I've drawn this card from the top of my deck. It says... oh, okay, here we go. Tricked you. Let's do it. Yeah, okay, so I will play the attack. So I had to draw a card, I think. That's what I drew, so that's from my maneuvering. I'm going to play it for my second action. And that's going to let me attack with the strength of 0. What is that? Is that an attack? Oh yeah, that was the... So they played that to maneuver, so that goes over here. I think I was supposed to do that. All right. Then they play, so they defend against this. So this is a strength 0 against defense 2. Immediately, the Murphs may swap places. Oh, okay, so swap and swap. So now we can't actually take Nick out because Nick's jumped over there. And it says Nick is now the defender. Oh, sorry, Mike is now the defender. But the beauty is we've put that into the discard pile. That's now been spent. That's now been discarded. And also, after the combat, if your opponent played a defense card, we get to play this bonus attack here, which is a Tricked You attack of strength 4. So that one was a strength 0. This one attacks and essentially attacks the same target. Now, that would have been great even if he moved away, but that specifically stated that now Mike is now the new target. So we're now dealing a strength 4. Now, Mike can defend against this, but he's going to be drawing 1, and then he's going to be drawing 2... and then he's going to be drawing 3, and it just keeps going into the spent pile here. And he isn't able to block it, so we're doing 4 damage to Mike. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 3. He says, uh-oh. But they still could win this, because if they get this strength 4 attack off against me, I am in grave danger, because I've only got the 1 health. So... And there's no way for me, because otherwise they just keep spending it as a spent card. It keeps getting recycled. So I'm going to have to just try and tank it. So that was my attack. That goes there. So let's see. They now basically... We know what's going to happen here. I'm going to put a defensive 5 down, which is great. But... Oh no, lucky. Okay, so he's not actually uphill here. So, okay, so I'm currently beating him by 1 with my tortoise form. So he now... Oh no. Okay, so he plays this. This is strength 4. But... Oh no, that's good. Okay, so he plays this as an attack. Okay. He has strength 4. It's not enough to get through my defense, and to try and beat my defense with this boost attack, he has to draw, and if he can't draw, they lose because they've been decked out. And that defensive ability occurs first. What was their thing? During combat, if both Murphs are adjacent to the opponent, oh, lucky too, because if both Murphs had been adjacent, that would have been strength 6, and we would have been in all sorts of trouble there. But wow, that came right down to the wire. Wow, I did not expect that to be that close. But hopefully that you were able to follow it and it made sense. I know I probably wasn't sort of playing optimally and that sort of thing, but that was really, really close. Yeah, the Murph just got decked out there. And I was how many cards away? I was 3 cards away, and if I'd had to, because remember you have to you must do 2 actions. So I would have, if I had no cards left, I would have had to do a maneuver, and that would have caused me to take 2 hits, and I would have been out. So even if they hadn't tracked me down with their attacks, I was running out of time there too. I only had three cards to go there. So very cool. Again, like I said, I'm not sure if I was really sort of using the clones optimally. Same thing with the Murphs. You can see how their deck is pretty powerful sort of thing, but just in terms of the solo mode here, some of the interactions maybe are a little bit imprecise there for the way that their deck works. But in general, I think it's a pretty robust solo system. I think it sort of makes it a viable sort of fun game to play solo. But of course, if you weren't quite sort of convinced by that, the Tales to Amaze, or Tales to Amaze, I think, is an official product coming out soon. And I think even if you couldn't back it because it was only a US product, I think US and Canada maybe, if you are looking for it, I think it's going to come out sort of worldwide through retail and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, anyway, well, that was a lot of fun. That was the Brothers Murph UnMurphed, their awesome Unmatched sort of homebrew kit there against Sun Wukong, the Meeple Monkey, and yeah, good battle of the good. Let's give them a handshake. There we go. Well fought, guys. Yeah, you'll get us next time. The Meeple Monkey versus the Brothers Murph. So hopefully that was a bit of fun. Something a little bit different from Marvel United. Definitely keen to get back into some more of the homebrew battles and stuff going on there. But yeah, let us know what you thought of this. If you enjoyed this game, would you want to see me play against some of the other heroes in the set and stuff? Play through them solo mode sort of thing as well. Was that interesting or not? Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Meeple Monkey out. See ya.